The southeast coast of Mauritius can be characterized by having one of the longest stretch of fringing barrier reef in the island, with lagoons and deep channels running in between, which is where you will find a diverse range of coastal ecosystems such as corals, seagrasses, and mangroves. This video will introduce you to the corals, seagrass, and mangrove ecosystem, which are the most important but also the most threatened ecosystem in the southeast coast. Corals, seagrass, and mangroves are each adapted to live in specific parts of the coast. Corals are typically found along the reef flat slopes where the waters are clear and well mixed by currents and waves. Seagrasses are typically found in shallow and calm waters with sandy substrate, often behind the coral reefs. Mangroves are typically found along sheltered intertidal areas and along river mouths. Although corals, seagrasses, and mangroves are distributed in different parts of the coast, the three ecosystems are interconnected and interdependent with each other. For example, many fish species grow up in mangroves and seagrass areas, then move to coral reefs when they mature. And corals protect the seagrasses and mangroves by acting as a barrier against strong waves and currents. Coral reefs are where you will find the highest diversity of fish species, with different shapes, colors, and sizes. Around a quarter of all marine fish species are known to be dependent on coral reefs at some stages of their life. The colorful butterfly fishes are one of the most common fish that you will encounter in a coral reef. They rely heavily on corals, such as for food and shelter, and as such are an indicator of a healthy reef. Parrotfishes and surgeonfishes are the great caretakers of coral reefs, by feeding on fast-growing reef algae that can otherwise smother corals. Carnivorous fishes such as barracuda, moray eels, groupers, and trevally keeps the coral ecosystem in balance by feeding on variety of prey. Mangroves and seagrass are known as the cradle of life, as many types of fish spend their youth within the mangroves and seagrass areas to hide from larger predators and feed on the abundant food. There are also many types of animals that live on the seabed, which are also important members of the ecosystems. Animals such as sea cucumber, crabs, and sea snails are known as detritus feeders, and they keep the environment clean by feeding on decaying plants, animals, and other waste. Animals such as sponges, clams, and polychaetes are known as filter feeders, and they keep the water clean by feeding on small organic particles in the water column. Although the coastal ecosystems in the southeast coast are still relatively well preserved, we are seeing a gradual decline and degradation of the ecosystems, likely due to the intensification of global warming and human activities. Corals are especially vulnerable to global warming. When water temperature becomes too high, they become stressed and turn white, as known as bleaching, and eventually die if high temperature persists. The crown of thorns starfish is a large starfish that love eating corals. When conditions are right, their numbers increase dramatically and cause extensive damage to coral reefs. The main threats from human activities are, for example, water pollution, boat anchoring, illegal logging, and dumping of garbage. To conserve a coastal ecosystem, now over 2,000 hectares of the southeast coast are designated as Marine Protected Area, which includes Blue Bay Marine Park, Grand Port Fishing Reserves, and Point Destiny Wetland. Various restrictions are applied in these protected areas to ensure that we minimize damage to these precious ecosystems. Various other efforts are also underway and planned to conserve the coastal ecosystems, such as the establishment of a multi-stakeholder platform for information sharing and discussion. Like us going to the doctor for health checkup, it is important to regularly monitor the conditions of the ecosystems and environment, so that we can take actions before the ecosystems becomes damaged beyond recovery. We can also all play a part in conserving the ecosystem, such as by saving electricity, picking up garbage, supporting eco-friendly products, and spreading the word to your friends and families. And last and not the least, enjoy firsthand the amazing underwater world of the southeast coast.